Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Oilers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now Jackson, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And here now, the Baltimore offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Draw play, Ingram now. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. On 3rd down, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Brooks, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Jackson from the shotgun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. Away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we talk about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Stop your whining. Check the right.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Matt Judon there to bring him down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and situation. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. King now, operating from the gun. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. The open man is Smith. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 23.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, They like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Here's a quick throw out wide to Humphries. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Draw play. This is Henry. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Operating from the gun, King. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well
Point
done.
A, B, and C.
On second down now, it's Ingram. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So that'll back him up 5.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go now. Put 2 on it. Put 2 on it. 3 down.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Single.
To throw on third down, Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Raven first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
There goes Mark Ingram, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. He gets it to Humphries. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's 1st and 10 from the 11. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And an alley to run. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 31, Jackson. That one into the hands of Kane. And he gets this up across the 35. Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson. And that is incomplete here. The former 1st-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
To throw is King on 1st and 10. And this one complete to Smith. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Draw play. It's Eckler. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 2nd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw. King. It's caught. Smith. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. King. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Who that?
King throwing on first down. He's got Smith here. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And that'll be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. It's their quarterback. Touchdown number 15 of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Extra point attempt to come here. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
That penalty against DJ Fluker, the behemoth out of Alabama.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the visiting Cowboys who got the win on the road. Dak Prescott, a very good performance as his guys run the record now to 5-2. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, on Monday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out with run by Henry. We'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now King looking to throw on 2nd down. Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
King now, operating from the gun. He'll get this to Eckler. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Here's King on 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. Open man here is Scott. Complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. These teams that we've seen in this game.
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And now out comes Houston. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go.
To throw is King on 1st down. This will be caught by Brown. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Looking to throw. King. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops it for a loss of 11.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Right here.
From the gun, King throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory. For now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. On first down, Ingram. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. And it's getting in home. Switch.
Ingram again. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And partner, the defense, they were keyed in on him early, but his talent shining through as of late.
I like what you said about keyed in, because it all started in their first meeting of game planning for this game. where they went over things with their team and said, all right, this is the guy we have to take out of the game. Make sure you get enough coverage on him, all the different defenses. Sometimes you run everything you've got in the first half, and they adjust in the second half and start to play better.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. King from the gun, he'll throw. It's caught, Humphries. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now King operating from the gun. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson, there on the coverage. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. King. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Again, Jackson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A 4th quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. King finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The field position game often so overlooked, but this offense is going to be backed up deep. What an ideal punt.
And now, this stage of the game, when they need the drive to try and put themselves in a position to win it, you talk about going the long field, the very long field. This could be a 99-yard drive if they're able to accomplish it.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And now out comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Henry out of the pistol. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Henry. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 10-7, a little under 1:50 remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's complete. Deion Kane working the middle. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Back to throw. Able to find Deion Kane complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. He'll look to throw. That one into the hands of Kane. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. He's back to throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, possession switches hands. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the home team here, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.